everybody, and welcome to this video in Mars entering Cancer. So Mars is entering Cancer on the 10th of May and will stay there until the 30th of June, so there for about 5 to 6 weeks. So when Mars is in Cancer, we can have an increase in feeling, be more sensitive, of course, and more in tune with our intuition, which can be positive or challenging depending on, your whole personality type and other things as well. So the best thing during this period is to focus on creating secure foundations in relationships, expressing your feelings and connecting with your own emotional needs, as well as figuring out what home means to you and how you can make your home more better. So for some of you, this can mean decluttering. For others, it can be sorting out your inner emotional home and working through any unresolved psychological, emotional and spiritual trauma there, but more about that later. Now, at the time of Mars going into Cancer, it will make a square to Jupiter and an opposition to Pluto and a trine to Neptune. So all these energies will last, like it influences this whole Mars in Cancer transit. So these unique energies will bring obstacles, but they'll also present endless opportunities to get in touch with your emotions and your sense of home. Mars entering Cancer can impact various aspects of your life, including career and educational development, spiritual and personal growth, committed relationships and hookups, and understanding the karmic and past life meaning of transiting Mars in Cancer can also help you navigate your spiritual path and this whole Mars in Cancer transit. So I'm just going to go through what all that means for you section by section. And yeah, so Mars transiting in Cancer is, as I said, associated with emotional security and nurturing. So you may focus on creating a safe and comfortable home environment, be more sensitive to your emotions and nurturing towards yourself and others. And there's going to be a dynamic interaction between passion, power and emotional expression. This is because as Mars enters Cancer, it's making a square to Jupiter. So our passion, Pluto, making an opposition to, so there's our power, and it's making a trine to Neptune, so there's our emotional expression. So these cosmic alignments are encouraging us to tap into our emotional intelligence and use our intuition to navigate our relationships and situations. So I'm just going to summarise what it means for career, educational, spiritual development, committed relationships, hookups and the past life and karmic meaning. So in terms of career, it promotes you focusing on emotionally fulfilling work. So some of you may think, I want to change in direction or bring more compassion and feeling into the way you go about your current job. In terms of educational growth, people may choose subjects that provide them with a sense of emotional connection, so good for going online and seeking out spiritual courses, psychological, philosophical courses or any sort of wellness courses as well. This energy is encouraging you to take risks in your career and emotional development and confronting any deep-seated fears that you may have related to success and acceptance, because often our feelings and especially our mind can hold us back from going after what we really want because of our past experiences or unresolved psychological, emotional and spiritual trauma. So Mars in Cancer gives us the drive and determination to pursue our passions with a sense of emotional depth and sensitivity. So good for passion projects, getting in touch with your hobbies and stuff like that, but it can also bring up issues of insecurity and the need for validation. So it's helpful to build a strong support system by asking others for help or merging your strengths and weaknesses to give yourself the foundation to deal with any unresolved issues that come up right now as well. And ultimately, other people can guide us, but we have to get to a point when we can give ourselves that internal sort of validation rather than seeking it from external people and things. The karmic and past life meaning of transiting Mars in Cancer suggests that by confronting your emotional baggage and addressing self-doubt, you can move forward in your career and spiritual development and educational projects and stuff like that. It's also a good time to heal any limiting behaviours and thoughts that stop you from getting the career and educational progress you want, and set realistic goals during this time. Spiritual much on personal growth should also be prioritised, and because, like I said, Mars, this is that action, passion, drive, is in Cancer, so it's all about confronting and transforming your inner emotional landscape, nurturing your soul and developing as much inner peace as you can. Of course, the world wasn't built in one day, so taking step by step approach and seeking out the tools for you that can help you do that. So yeah, all in all, it's a great opportunity to address deep-rooted insecurities and release any emotional baggage that comes up, because you may be feeling more vulnerable and have more of a need to connect emotionally with yourself or others. So, it's a good time to work on healing past wounds and opening up to intimacy and healing wounds that stop you from, being intimate with yourself as well, connecting with your inner self and exploring your feelings. If you're already in a committed relationship, you may look for more emotional intimacy, and if you do hookups and stuff like that, you will want them to be more meaningful at this time. Emotions can run high in committed relationships, so it's best to be honest and communicate your needs openly to any partners. So in terms of hookup and committed relationships, people be wanting more emotional connection rather than just physical pleasure. So people wanting to be more vulnerable, and you may need to communicate because one part of the partner may not want to be as deep as you may want to be, or vice versa. So it's important to be mindful of any power imbalances that can surface during this transit. So the karmic and past life meaning of transiting Mars in Cancer indicates that it's a time to overcome past trauma and heal emotional wounds, especially those related to emotional safety, trust and issues surrounding power and control in relationships, so you can find more fulfillment in relationships with yourself and others, and also more personal growth. So all in all, whatever happens during this transit, it will reveal patterns that must be addressed and restored for true emotional growth and equilibrium, so balance. So now I'm just going to go more in depth, as I do, about each of these issues that I've just brought up. So in terms of Mars' square to Jupiter as it enters Cancer, as I said, this can trigger power struggles and conflicts with authority figures, so it's a time to expect emotional intensity and possible power struggles in our relationships. The square to Jupiter can also lead to overconfidence and a desire for instant gratification. Because this can be a time of increased emotional intensity, which can lead to deepening connections in our relationships. However, it's necessary to be aware of the potential for power struggles and arguments during this period. The square to Jupiter can also lead to impulsiveness, which may negatively affect our personal or professional lives, especially when it comes to certain personal needs and boundaries. So it's best to avoid making hasty decisions or taking unnecessary risks during this time, and to avoid overindulgence in food, drugs, sex, porn and other intoxicating things, because Mars is square and Jupiter expands the positive, but also our negative traits as well. So to make the best use of Pluto square in the Mars entering Cancer, focus on nurturing your relationships and deepening emotional connections with your loved ones, and you should also be aware of emotions and avoid letting them control your actions right now and overstepping other people's boundaries. By staying grounded, you can navigate any challenges that come up during this period and come out stronger in your relationships. It's also a good energy to use self-care and engage in activities that help you regulate your emotions, such as meditation or exercise or anything else that helps you chill out. So Mars' opposition to Pluto as it enters Cancer can lead to excessive enthusiasm and overestimating your abilities, and also add to the intense reactions and need for control that the square to Jupiter brings as well. Although it's good to channel this intense emotions and passionate energy into your creativity and anything that requires determination and focus, as this transit gives you the courage and motivation to confront difficult situations or people, allowing you to progress in areas where you may have felt stuck as well. But although, it gives you that energy to get things done, try not to overstep other people's boundaries and assert yourself in the most kindest way that you can, because not doing this can add to the power struggles and conflict that already comes with this energy. And especially in those sort of relationships, especially if you're the boss or your employee, in those type of relationships with control dynamics, it can just get out of hand, because your boss can be like, well, I'm the boss, you have to do what I have to say, and you can be, well, yeah, that's true, but I'm still a human being, I have my rights and stuff. So it can also bring up issues with betrayal that can cause emotional upheavals, especially in intimate relationships that can be difficult to resolve as well. So the best use of this opposition of Pluto to Mars at this throughout the next 5 to 6 weeks while Mars is in Cancer is to channel it into your passions and creative projects or activities that require focus and determination. Take advantage of the courage and motivation that this transit provides by confronting difficult situations or people with a level head and clear communication, but also be mindful of power struggles and conflicts that may come up during this time, and try and find a balance between asserting yourself and respecting the boundaries of others. Overall, the opposition of Mars in Cancer to Pluto can be powerful and transformative, but it requires you to be mindful and act with intention in order to, harness the potential for growth that it brings. So yeah, use this intense energy productively while also doing your best to avoid power struggles and conflicts whenever it's possible, because sometimes we do have to confront issues, otherwise never get dealt with, but just try and do it in the most respectful way possible. And Neptune's trying to Mars at this time enhances the creativity that Jupiter and Pluto bring, and also strengthens your intuition, which is good also to pursue artistic creative things, but also used to do spiritual things like meditation and working with tarot and working with the psychic realms in safe ways. So yeah, all in all, when Mars enters Cancer and makes a trine to Neptune, it creates an interesting combination of energies which wants us to, tap into our more intuitive feelings and to pursue our dreams. Mars is associated with motivation and drive, and Neptune is more about creativity, spirituality and intuition and secrets and the things that we keep hidden. So it may emphasize, secrets that someone's hidden from you, or you hidden from someone else, or the things we hide from ourselves, like how self-destructive our behaviours and thoughts are. All these things may come out right now as well, and you may have to deal with them. And although it can be scary, whatever happens now is, even if it is negative or seen as negative, will become positive. And whatever does happen now is trying to align you with your authentic dreams and desires. You may feel more inspired and motivated to do creative or spiritual projects right now at this time, but because of the elusive and confusing energy of Neptune, it can be difficult to take clear and decisive action, and also actually know what other people are saying to you right now, like what do they actually mean, and also what do your dreams or intuition actually means as well. So this is why it's important to try and do grounding work, or just to also just try and relax as much as you can and write down the pros and cons. This can help as well. And although this trine does bring comfort into our life, it can lead to complacency or lack of effort towards achieving your goals. So we've got the energy supporting us to go after what we want, but if we don't take the action, so whether it is to go for that new dream job or start that new course, or to work through your emotional and psychological and spiritual wounds, if you don't take daily steps to do it, then this energy will go to ways. Also, watch out for being too idealistic, because this energy can make us project what we think someone means by what they say and do, rather than what they actually mean by what they say and do. So just make sure you double check facts and stuff, and watch out for having unrealistic expectations in relationships right now. So the best use of this energy is to focus on balancing action with intuition, and balancing intuitive thinking with logical reasoning as well. and being open to the creative and spiritual energy of Neptune to inspire and guide us towards creative solutions to our problems, also achieving our goals and taking practical steps towards achieving your goals, which is a stress because this is important. So it's important to stay grounded and focused while also remaining open to new possibilities, getting out of your comfort zone, and going for what you really want at this time. And under career and educational development, I'm going to talk a bit more about that. So as I said, it can increase your ambition and risk taking. So on the positive side, this brings a surge of emotional energy that can be channeled into productivity. Also, you can become more creative and protective in the workplace or classroom or your educational setting, whatever that is. This can lead to more supportive environments that encourage growth and learning. On the negative side, this can lead to mood swings and emotional outbursts, which can create tension in the workplace or in educational settings that can hinder productivity and progress. Also, Cancer is a sign that values security and stability, and Mars's impulsive energy can disrupt, the status quo. So, the ways that things have been done in the workplace or classroom, educational settings may come into question, and somebody may want to stick to the way things have always been done, and others may want new, fresh ideas, and there can be a conflict of interest. So, although it's good to be accommodating to other people's needs as well, try not to prioritise the needs of others over your own needs at this time, because this can lead to burnout or neglecting your personal goals. But also respect other people's opinion and try and find the middle ground between the old and the new sort of thing, and maintain a balance between emotional sensitivity and being productive during this transit as well. And this can bring you more success in your career and education. In terms of the karmic level, Mars in Cancer suggests confronting emotional baggage and addressing self-doubt when it comes to you being able to achieve your career and educational goals. So, tap into your emotional intelligence, and also, use conflict resolution skills and teamwork abilities to sort of bring everybody together and to channel your assertiveness towards your goals in a healthy way, by remaining grounded and focused on your personal values and spiritual alignment, while also respecting other people's needs to do that as well. So in terms of spiritual and personal growth, this is all being supported by, Neptune's trine and Mars being in Cancer anyway. So we can be more attentive and sensitive to our own spiritual growth and needs right now, becoming more emotional aware and compassionate, deepening your connection to yourself and others. You may choose to explore your inner worlds, examine your beliefs, and engage in spiritual practices that nourish your souls right now. And with the increased intensiveness, you may become more mindful and self-reflective, allowing you to gain valuable insights into your past and the things you need to heal there, and on the spiritual and emotional and psychological levels. And also by doing this, you can understand more about what's going on in your present, what's blocking you from accepting any new things or blocking you from moving forward into your future. All in all, it's an ideal energy to work on your personal and spiritual growth and healing, as well as reconnecting with yourself and understanding your authentic motivations. What drives you? What are your true desires? What are your true needs? Are you just going along with what other people want for you, or are you really living the life that you really want to live? So all in all, Mars transiting in Cancer can provide excellent support for spiritual and personal evolution, helping you to understand yourselves and the world around you in more better, healthy ways. In terms of committed relationships, this is, as I said, the time to create more emotional safety, build trust and nurture your relationships, and prioritise emotional security. This can be a time for couples to deepen their bonds and work together towards their shared shared goals, inspiring a desire to create a warm and nurturing home environment which can bring some couples closer together, communicating more openly and honestly with partners and prioritising self-care and self-discovery during this time is recommended. By doing this, partners can become more emotionally connected and empathetic towards each other, and this transit can inspire a deep sense of loyalty and devotion, encouraging couples to support each other through thick and thin. It also encourages domesticality and desire to build a more harmonious home life together. On the negative end, some people may become more sensitive to words and experience, and this can lead to overwhelming emotions, leading to arguments and misunderstandings. This can lead to conflicts between partners that are not able to communicate effectively and navigate their emotions in a healthy way. Additionally, Mars in Cancer can sometimes make us more passive aggressive, which can further damage the overall health of our relationships. And as partners navigate their emotions, they need to practice active listening and empathetic communication. They should also create a safe space where they can express their authentic emotions without fearing judgment or criticism from the other person or other persons. Furthermore, it would be beneficial for couples to seek counselling or therapy if they struggle to communicate effectively right now, because a professional can provide tools and strategies to help partners healthily manage conflict, ultimately strengthening their relationships. So yeah, with patience, understanding and effective communications, partners can develop a deep and meaningful connection built on a foundation of empathy and mutual understanding. In terms of the karmic and past life meaning of transiting Mars in Cancer and its impact on relationships, it can be a perfect time to heal wounds related to trust, boundaries and emotional intimacy, to experience more fulfilling and balanced relationships in this lifetime. So yeah, just going to talk a bit more in depth about the karmic and past life meaning. So ultimately it's a time to forgive and let go, and it's encouraging us to confront our past and heal wounds that can help us, move forward in our career, education, our relationships as well, and letting go of old resentments and grudges and forgiving ourselves and others can lead to a sense of emotional liberation. And as I said, because Mars is square to Jupiter and is opposition to Pluto and trying to Neptune, may stir up inner tension and frustration and conflicts that can trigger internal events, so the external triggering our internal feelings. If you are triggered on a karmic level, this shows a need to confront and heal past wounds related to family dynamics, self-love, and particularly with your mother figure or the most feminine parent, or even with your own feminine energy and your feelings basically. Also, there is a need to set healthy boundaries for yourself and respect the boundaries of others as well. On a deeper esoteric level, Mars in Cancer can symbolise a need to integrate and balance the masculine and feminine energies within yourself. As I mentioned earlier, balancing the feminine energies, but this transit wants us to integrate our weaknesses and our strengths, our darkness and our light, all our personal, doing that again, all of our personality traits, so that we can find a more balanced expression and take action towards creating a safe space within ourselves and for other people as well. As I said, some of you may choose to declutter your actual physical home or your bedroom or your space, office spaces and stuff. Mars in Cancer can be a challenging but transformational transit that invites you to confront and heal your emotional wounds while nurturing and protecting yourself and others, and sometimes this means protecting yourself from others. So yeah, to fulfill the karmic needs of this energy, it's important to practice patience, balance and self-control, especially during difficult situations, so you can move forward with more clarity and purpose by acknowledging and releasing past traumas. The best use of this energy is to focus on emotional security and take risks that align you with your authentic self. So although things may be painful right now, over the next 5 to 6 weeks, see whatever happens now as trying to get you back in touch with with who you really want to be and who you really are and what you really want out of life. So in terms of career and in terms of career educational development, it's vital to balance ambition with emotional well-being and take steps to create a more supportive work environment. This can just be by changing yourself, like I said, bringing more empathy and feeling into yourself and into your work can just make you feel better about it. It's not always about making peace with your teammates or boss or anything like that. Mars is square to Jupiter reminds us not to overestimate our abilities at this time, so not to take on more than we can truly handle. So it's important to set realistic goals and focus on achievable tasks rather than spreading yourself too thin. Pluto's opposition to Mars brings to our mind the need to confront and release any emotional baggage or negative thought and behaviour and relationship patterns that may be holding us back from our personal growth. Mars is square to Jupiter, opposition to Pluto and trine to Neptune can bring up intense emotions, as I said, but they also provide the inner strength and resilience to overcome the challenges that comes up right now, especially Mars is trine to Neptune, which presents us with the opportunity to tap into our intuition and connect more with our innate spirituality and creativity to find peaceful solutions to any external problems or any inner tension we have inside. So we should make the most of this energy by tapping into our feelings, especially those centered on compassion and empathy, using them to nurture our relationships and support our personal growth. Committed relationships can benefit from this transit by building stronger emotional bonds, nurturing intimacy and creating emotional safety. So yeah, although we may revisit old wounds or patterns on the karmic and past life levels, and although this can be painful, this reminds us that there is potential for significant growth and healing if we take the lessons to our heart, so learn from whatever happens to us right now and just move forward with more passion and tap into our creativity and get out of our comfort zone to bring more peace into our inner world and external surroundings too. So yeah, that was Mars transiting in Cancer. Take care. Bye bye.